Hi, this is Eric One, Reporting Geek. I'm here with Charles Samir Perret.
Hello.
From Super Meeple. We're looking at a prototype of Colors of Paris. You have to imagine the box I'm holding here. It's still in development.
Yeah. Sorry, we only share the cover.
Yes.
On our Facebook page and Twitter like this, but sorry, I don't have any product. I don't have anything else than just the prototype here. So
it's very familiar that I noticed in France, French designers and publishers seem much more open about sharing prototypes in open. They're being played all throughout the fair here.
Yeah.
All at the off. They're very open in here in terms of testing and showing things off. It's a little bit more like we're not going to talk about it yet.
Okay.
And you're like, yeah, come play my game. Try this out.
Yeah, it can be a bit risky because they can see the prototype and say, well, that doesn't look good, so I don't want to play it. But at the end, it's even though we work on the artwork like this, but at the end, it's the mechanic and the feeling of the game. So I hope that the people will just enjoy just playing the game. Yeah.
And that's what they're testing now, and of course, then you help get buzz for later, where people know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's good for people already to know about it and just start talking about it. So I think this is that's how we're gonna do it. But
So this is due out before the end of 2019.
This one will be released in May 2019.
In May 2019. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So what are we doing? Clearly we are painting.
Yeah, we're painting.
Colors of Paris.
Colors of Paris. Yeah. So it takes place into the early 20th century in Paris. There's a place in Paris called Montmartre. There's a very famous place where painters were just gathering there. There was a very there's a high community of painters there. So that takes place there. And then, so each player, so the goal of the game is going to paint some paintings. Okay, that's pretty clear. So here we have some different paintings, and then to paint that, of course, you need some colors. So the game will be really about just the colors, how to get some colors, some primary colors, to mix the primary colors to get secondary colors, and to use them in order to do the paintings.
Okay.
So that's the goal. So the end of the game triggers when there's one of the players that has filled just completed 2 paintings.
Okay.
And then and then you count the points, and then we see who is the winner. That means that it's not the one that triggers the game that necessarily is the winner. So,
okay.
So that's so it's a worker placement game. So for 2 to 4 players, and it's about roughly, but from I would say it's about 15-20 minutes per player. So between 40 to a little bit more than 1 hour. So that's
Okay. So we each have our own player board.
Yeah. So each player has his own individual board with 3 different skills. Mm-hmm. Okay. So everybody, when you start at the lower level like this. So everybody has 1 cube of each primary color. We all have 3 workers. Okay. These are extra workers. It means that we will be able to improve the different skills. And once you just reach this level, then you can just choose between getting 6 victory points or 1 extra worker. Okay. So that's the individual board. You have a maximum of 12 cubes at the end of each turn. You cannot have more than 12 cubes.
Okay.
So and so the core mechanic is of course here the game board. So it's a round table. It's really about the whole game is really more about the timing and how you anticipate what's going to happen. Because so here is a worker placement, but the thing is that you don't have the same number of spaces each turn. That means that, for example, here
there's 2 slots.
Exactly, 3 slots, and then each turn the board will turn like this. So that means that you won't have the same number of spaces, and you also have some actions that won't be available during the turn. So that's very important to anticipate this and to know that what you will need for the next turn, because it's there's not usually big differences with the players, so it's really about the timing to do the things properly at the right time. So it's pretty I would say the standard way to do the worker placement. So each player is going first to choose one of the space. So here, for example, there's only 1 space, so I can be there. So each player will just put the different one after the other, the different meeples like this, until everybody has put all his meeples. Okay, so that's it. So 3, and then 2, and 2.
Okay.
So once it's done, then the first player will choose one of the actions that he chose, and he will do the action. So the different actions possible are pretty simple. So you have here the three different here is to get some primary colors.
Right.
And you get the number of primary colors cubes that you get is defined by here, the skill that you have here. So here at the beginning, if you do this action, you just get 3 cubes. Okay, very simple. Here, if you go to this, to this action, that means that you will be able to improve. Okay. But for improving, you will have to pay 2 cubes, but that's the way you improve. That means that if you go there, each time you will do this action, you will get 4. Okay, that's very classic. Okay. Then you have the mixing colors, so to get the secondary colors. So that means that, for example, if you give 1 red and 1 yellow, then you will get 2 oranges.
Okay.
But if you improve by going there, like this, so the same, 1 red, 1 yellow, and then you get 3 oranges. Like
Oh,
okay?
it's magic, almost. How does it make more? You're very skilled, yes. Okay.
And then you, of course, so you will be able to choose a painting. Okay, so you can go. That's here it is. So that's the action to get a painting. So, for example, you take the painting, you put it in front of you. So
Here's actually painting.
And then after you have the action of painting, exactly. So the action of painting here. This is the last one. Sorry. So this is the last one. When you do the action painting at the beginning, you take the cubes that you have here, and you can paint only 1 cube. So you take any cube. So here there's no blue, but for example, I have a red one, so I put the red here, and that's it.
Okay.
And then also here you can just upgrade your skill, and then when you do the action, you will be able to put 2 cubes at the same time. Okay. So that's really the core mechanics. And when everybody has played here, then here the board will just turn like this. Okay. So that will change. And the thing is that one after the other, each player will take back 1 meeple after the other until everybody leaves 1 of them.
Okay.
So that means that each turn, 1 turn after the other, you know that the one of the meeple we have the next action coming. Okay. So that means that 1 action is already done. So when you start the next turn, you will only place 2 meeples here on the other actions.
Okay.
So you always have to anticipate. And there's there's one important thing is the actions here. Here there's any number of players that can arrive here. So here you have the white cubes. So the white cubes. This is for 2 reasons. You can use them in order to improve here when you spend cubes, or you can also use them for the paintings. But as it's not required, you have a -2 at the end of when you count the victory points when you complete the painting. Okay. And also there's this. I'm explaining here the basic rules, and there will be also advanced rules. So these are the final. These are the final cards.
Okay.
Not just the paintings. Right. So at the beginning, for the advanced rules, each player will choose one of the painter that has a special skill. Okay, so that's one of the things with the advanced rules. And there will also some other cards that you can give that give more bonuses, that you can interact and just do more things. But that's the advanced rules.
Okay.
If we go back to the basic rules, so once we have done this, here this for the white cubes. Here is the action to copy one of the others. Okay. But you can only copy. That's only copy an action that has not been done yet, because when everybody has meeple here like this, okay. When you play, here it is. When you do the action at the beginning, do this action, I just lie down the meeple. Okay. So you can only copy a meeple that has not been lied down. So the action has not been done. So you also have to anticipate. You know, I want to do it. Must I do it now, later? So that's also really all a matter of timing. This one is also important. Is here you can control the board. So that means if you go here, instead of having this one step like this, you can also choose not to do it,
or extra,
or two turns. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. And then also first player, that is very important as well, is to be the first player for the next turn if you want to choose.
Okay. All right.
So that's pretty much. That is the core mechanism. Yeah.
And a race only to 2 paintings.
Yeah,
it seems like you would do more.
Yeah, but
that's all your reputation is. Your reputation is made by those 2, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know, these are famous painters, so at least if you can do it as well as they do,
okay,
that's
all you need.
Enough. That's all you need.
Right. Okay. And 2 to 4 players?
2 to 4 players, 40 to 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes. Something like this.
All right. Thank you very much for the overview.
Thanks a
Colors
lot.
of Paris. You can look for it with a finished box
Sorry,
in May.
In May, but you can already see the cover at least on our
right.
Facebook page, or we shared it already on BGG. I think it's
Yes, it is. Thank you very much for the overview.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you very much.